Hi, we'll be starting now, so if everybody could turn their cameras on, that would be great. Like it's the final, so we need everybody to have their cameras on. So, yeah. Thank you. Again, sorry for the delay. We're live streaming on YouTube. Just waiting for everybody to turn their cameras on to start. How do I open that other screen? Uh, how do I go to that screen? There's the share screen button. Oh, no. Nope. Yep. Thank you. Okay, great. Team 6, Team 7. Oh, sorry. Aryan Shah and Yasho are there. Oh, okay, yeah, great. Okay, I think. That should be better. Cool. Hi, is my slide visible? Just tell me in chat. Yeah, is this visible? Okay, great. Hi. Okay, hi. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for making it to the Interrobang finals. Congrats for making it to the MELAS quiz finals. Very grateful to have you all here. I don't want to waste anybody's time, so I'll just start off quickly. I just again thanks to everybody in the org team and the content team. Without them, no work would have been done at all. So yeah, I'll just quickly go on to the rules. We'll have 5 rounds. We'll go through them very quickly as we can. There are 2 tries, bounce and pounce. Does anybody need bounce and pounce to be explained? I'm assuming not, but like if somebody does, please do let me know. Yeah, okay. So we have 2 rounds, clockwise, anti-clockwise, bounce and pounce.
What is the time you're giving for bounce and pounce?
We'll try to keep it as quick as possible. I'll give you a 10-second warning before I'm closing any bounces. Okay. And yeah, so again, for the returns, we'll explain how the scoring goes. But yeah, please do not Google. Everybody's cameras on. We've got people checking and just looking.
How do we bounce it? Do we message someone?
Yeah. Cool. I've got team 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. I'm waiting for 4, 6, and 8. I've got team 4 as well, waiting for 6 and 8. To me at the end altogether. So you don't need to write or text anything right now, just discuss it within your teams. You'll have to write them at the end of the 4 questions. So this is basically Oliver Darkshire's Twitter account I found recently, who makes role-playing games and character sheets for role-playing games, which have MELAS themes. You'll figure out what sort of MELAS themes very soon. So yeah, I want you to figure out the blanks basically. You like this has
No.
nope. Weird.
I think the stream itself is in kind of like a low resolution.
Oh, okay. I'll try and read out as much as I can. Yeah. So like I've read out the relevant bits on the first part. For the first one, those I will read them out again at the end of this and on the rerun. But yeah, I'll try and read out as much as I can. This is trapped in a cabin with blank. You're on a vacation with blank in his holiday home, but the weather has trapped you and your friends inside the house. Only the strong will survive. A new day with blank. To start your holiday, generate a new dash event by rolling a 6-sided die. Adjust your scores as directed by the event, then roll a new event. If your scandal reaches 10, you are no longer fit to enter society and must flee to nurse your reputation. If your masterpiece reaches 10, you create a new genre of supernatural horror fiction based on your time with blank. If your stress reaches 10, you lose your patience with the man and either kill him in a fit of rage or otherwise descend into uncontrollable weeping from which you will never emerge. Okay, Dash is recreation. Is he aware the walls are exceptionally thin? He's made a mess of your desk in the process. May he borrow your husband, of course. His half sister is here and they are just far too intimate. You're wary of listening to the tales of his exploits. He makes an excellent muse on occasion. He needs help reading his fan mail. He's bought his pet bear, it is not well trained. He wants you to read his poetry. He's in the papers, again, which means you are too. He broke up with his latest girlfriend slash boyfriend. He's found a new skull to use as a goblet. Time alone, blissful time. He's busy with a paramour. A walk around the house, underwear on our heads. He has an excellent supply of contraband substances. Wine, a chest of wine. He passed out in his study. So that's two. Again, if you want me to read out some bits again, I'll try, but yeah. Oh, okay. Actually, that works. I'll just send the pictures to you in the private.
Yeah.
Spender. Yeah, I'll do that. Regardless, this is 3. I'll be sending all of them again. I'm just sending the images. 1 second. Sorry. Please just confirm if you I've started sending them. Please just confirm if you got them.
Yeah, team 8 got it. Thank you.
Yeah, team 4 has got it.
3 also.
Yeah, everybody's got it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And this was 4. I'll just give you guys a minute. I think that seems the most reasonable thing to do. I'll give you a minute and you can fill in your answers and just reply to me. And that way we can go a bit quicker as well. So yeah, I'll give you 60 seconds. I have a counter. So after 60 seconds, I'll just close it. So you please do send in your things after that. I've got a stopwatch on. Again, I want the blanks at the top. I want the blanks at the top of all of them. Oh yeah, in the 4th one I need the blank right at the top, the uppermost blank. Again, I need all 4 answers in 60 seconds. You have 15 seconds left. Like all the answers I get, those are the only ones I'll accept by then. Cool. Last 15 seconds, I'll just give you guys a countdown. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm ending with that. Yeah, I just wait for all of them to come in. Cool. Alright. Okay, I think we're done. Uh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Anshul will take over. He's yeah. All right. We'll go through the answers. One second.
All right. I hope you guys can hear me and my screen is visible. Are the images also clearer now?
No, still just as bad.
So it's fine.
Okay,
The rest will be fine. There
but-
won't be that little text.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, there's no other text that has this amount of detail for the rest of the quiz, so that should. Okay, but does anyone want to shout out answers? Lord Byron, Hans Christian Andersen, and Shakespeare. And we'll take scores now.
Here. Team 120.
Team 1 has 20.
Team 20.
Team 2 has 20.
Team 3 10.
Team 3 has 10.
Team 4 10.
Team 4 has 10.
Team 5 20.
Team 5 is 20.
Team 6 20.
Team 6 has 20.
Team 7 20.
Team 7 also has 20.
Team 8 10.
And Team 8 has 10. Other scores okay? Tallying. Does anyone have any questions with respect to scores so far? All right. If there's nothing else, I think we'll move on to our first set of tries. 8 questions clockwise. On pounds, we'll do plus 10 and minus 10. On bounds, plus 10 and 0, obviously. If there are parts to a question, I will continue till the full answer has been received from one team. All right. Actually, I think to like encourage bounces, I think we'll make bounce -5 on this. So -5 for negatives and plus 10 if you get it right. So hopefully we see. I will wait. I won't tell you that you've given me the right part. I will keep continuing bounce till the full answer is in. So the first question to team 1. So one of the many problems faced by the producers of Dash, the movie's popular action sequence, was to get a grip for their cars on medieval roads that were made of limestone. Now, besides safety itself, this also became necessary because given the narrow nature of the roads and the fact that there were a bunch of historical structures on set, the cars needed to be very, very precise in their movements so as to not damage themselves or the setting. So the stunt directors used a neat trick and movie secret of spraying Dash on all the roads in the city, which after drying left a sticky surface, which was ideal for cars to be drifting around. Besides being relatively cheap at only 60,000 US dollars for 8,700 gallons, it also was great for the producers because it tied in perfectly with the sponsorship for the movie and also left the residents of the city happy because it whitened and polished the roads for free. So, what exactly did the producers do and for which movie? The blanks are not indicative for this particular question, but yeah, just focus on the fact that these involved like high speed cars driving around in historic settings on limestone roads and what you could spill on these roads or what you could spray on these roads to make them sticky and ideal for drifting. Something that cost 60,000 US dollars for 8,700 gallons is something that's relatively cheap and easily available. And that also tied in with the sponsor. I'll keep pounds open for 5 more seconds, and if no one is bouncing, I'll take team 1's answer. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, your voice is breaking up. This is all around. We'll give +5 to team 6 for No Time to Die. Team 1 was on the right track with Spectre and Honey, but the answer is No Time to Die and Coke. They basically used Coca-Cola to line the streets in No Time to Die, which when dried up made the surface sticky and ideal for drifting. Excellent guess by team 4. Who get +10. The next question, and +5 to team 6 for No Time to Die. Next question will be to team 7 because the last answer we got was from team 6. Second question direct to team 7. So whereas this one scene soon reached iconic status and led to anticipation, the initial concept was far from what eventually turned out. Initially, the makers considered a situation where the character in question would follow the Western trope of making a heroic exit before making an eventual return. However, the contract that the actor had signed posed certain limitations on the actor's availability for this eventual return. In contrast with his co-stars, whose contracts accommodated the storyline that went ahead. So, to resolve this contractual dispute, the producer and the actor even considered killing off this character in an act of self-sacrifice, but the director opposed this move. So the solution that was eventually reached was in the form of this one iconic scene, which would allow the makers to resolve the contractual issues and remove uncertainty while not bringing the character's arc itself to a complete halt. Which scene are we talking about? Director team 7. Team 7, this is your direct. I've received a bounce from you, but it's your direct. Okay, so I'd say, considering that there was a future eventual storyline, so this is a multiple part story.
Seems to announce from the policy.
Right, so this is something with multiple parts, and wherein instead of killing the character off, they decided to do something instead that would basically make sure that this character was still alive without the actor necessarily having to feature in. The movie uses one specific scene to address the casting of Jackie Chan as a notably French character. Now, the scene that addresses it by claims that Jackie Chan's French name is a made-up one, and it goes about doing it by using a technique that's used several times by Sacha Baron Cohen's character from the movie The Dictator. So, if you've seen The Dictator, there's something that happens with respect to made-up names several times over, and something very, very similar is done in this movie Around the World in 80 Days. So, based on what Jackie Chan's character is called, tell me how the scene addresses the fact that Jackie Chan is playing a French person.
And how, like, the dictator scene is exactly the same as this, like in.
I mean, so something happens in The Dictator several times when it comes to made up names. So in this movie as well, basically tell me how Jackie Chan's character gets his name.
3 will pass.
All right. Team. Yeah, team 5, you've given me what happens in The Dictator. What I want is what happens in Around the World in 80 Days. Correct. Yeah, basically that's what I want.
Could you repeat what you just said? Like, what do you want exactly?
So, what Team 5 had asked me is whether I want what Jackie Chan derives his name from. So, if you've seen The Dictator, he derives these made up names from some things around him. Basically, tell me what Jackie Chan's character derives his name from. I'll wait for 5 more seconds before Team 7's answer. So far, I've received pounces from teams 3, 5, and
Team 1 is
team-
also bouncing.
all right. I will wait 5 seconds for team 1 to type their answer, and then team 7 can give you. Pounce is closed for everyone else. Once team 1 types out their answer, I will. Team 7 can. All right. Team 7, you can give me your answer.
Right. So, in the movie Dictator, he keeps making up names by looking at signs or things nearby.
Right.
So I'm guessing in this movie, that's what is claimed Jackie Chan does. I am guessing by
Alright.
this, the thing that he looks at is maybe like a passport.
All right. And so Jackie Chan's character's name would be.
Passport, like as in like make it French.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. So basically, he names himself after what he sees around him. Jackie Chan calls himself Passport 2 because there's a passport lying around. On the pounds, plus team 7 gets +10. On the pounds, team 1, 3, and 5 all get +10 as well. All right. Next question to team 8. This question has 4 parts, so before pouncing, I will read all of them. But in the near century that this organization has been around, only 5 times have actions of its members been deemed so heinous or so bad that it needed the removal of people from this group entirely. The first time a person was removed was in 2004, and this person was some person called Carmine Caridi for an act of theft. Now, the next 3 instances are perhaps the most popular examples, which all occurred in the aftermath of the Me Too movement. After revelations of inappropriate behavior in 2016 by A, conviction of sexual assault in 2018 for B, and conviction of sexual relations with a minor in 1977 for C. The last such instance was in 2021, and it involved a certain Adam Kimmel, who was removed for being a registered sex offender. Now, recently, by recently I mean much more recently than 2021 as well, such a permanent removal was contemplated for another individual X in the aftermath of his infamous actions at this organization's premiere event. However, this was later downgraded to a more temporary measure. So give me these 4 people, 3 of whom were in fact removed and 1 for whom such removal was considered in the aftermath of something infamous that he had done. On pounds, I need all 4 parts. This is team 8's direct. I will wait for 8 for giving me all parts right except for Bill Cosby. On the pounds, team 1 gets +10. Team 2 gets
7 point. Oh, next.
Team 2 gets -5 because they also went with Kevin Spacey. Team 3
Gets next.
gets -5 on the same guess.
Yeah.
Team 4
+10.
gets +10.
+10.
Team 5 gets +10. And team.
Not pounds.
Sorry?
7 pounds.
Okay, and team 7 did not pounce.
Am
Okay.
I missing anybody?
Am I missing any pounds? Anybody that has sent in an answer that I haven't checked? All right. Sanjana, is the score okay? You.
Direct version? Who got it in the?
Oh, on the bounce, team 8 gets 7.5 and team 6 gets +10. Direct again to team 7 then because team 6 got the answer. Anyways, this is Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Roman Polanski, and Will Smith. With movies like Mera Naam Joker, the popularity of Bollywood in Russia is something that's well known. However, another unexpected hub for Bollywood films in the 20th century turned out to be Greece. Now, in the aftermath of the partition in the 50s and 60s, Hollywood produced several movies which tackled themes like homelessness, refugees, migrants, etc. And these were themes that were particularly relatable to the common Greek people. And so they loved watching Indian movies during the 50s and 60s. And by extension, top Bollywood actresses of the time became household Greek names. This was true to such an extent that an artist, Greek artist called Stelios Kazantzidis, dedicated a legendary Greek song to the actress A in 1959. The song itself is believed to be inspired by a Bollywood classic, Aa Jao Tadapte Hain Armaan, which starred the other big actress of the day, Nargis. Now, this song is so popular, in fact, that a rendition of it was performed at the closing ceremony of the Athens Olympics in 2004. Who is this actress A, after whom Stelios Kazantzidis, however his name is pronounced, has named this song? There is an image on the next slide which basically features the name of the song on a record as well as on a poster. This is the artist name. This is Katsantzidis, or however it's in Greek. Basically, this is the title of the song and everything in Greek. So if you can figure bounces from 4, 5, 6, and 8. 4, 5, 1, and 8. Alright, bounces from 4, 5, 1, and 8. Team 7, you're direct. Team 7, it's your direct. Don't bounce. Give me the answer.
Is A Madhubala.
Yeah, this is Madhubala, and the song was called Mandubala, or however it was supposed to be said. But anyway, scoring on this, on the bounce, direct +10 to team 7.
5, 6, 1, 8, get +10.
All the other teams 4, 5, 6, 1, and 8 who bounced also got it right on the bounce, +10 to. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 7, and 8, +10. Next question, direct to team 8 now. So some experts have attempted to come up with a solution with regard to a long-term problem, which involved engineering biological changes to domestic cats. Now, the premise of this solution is that there would be an automatic change in cats, something that happens to other animals in nature as well, if and when they encounter this problem. And through fairy tales and myths, the meaning or significance of this change would be preserved in human culture in the far future as an inherent warning about the proximity of this problem if one were to encounter a domestic cat in such a changed status. Okay, the question is a little wordy and it's a little complex, so let me just break it down for you. This musician called Emperor X in 2014 wrote a song basically asking people not to visit sites where there have been like nuclear fallouts in the past. It's a warning against re-inhabiting those places. If you see cats that have changed color, don't just stay. So +10 to everyone except team 6. Next question, direct to team 1. Yep. Okay. In 2009, there were reportedly complaints from drivers at the Monaco Grand Prix, including Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button, about a dash that was connected with an 1863 Italian alcohol brand. Now, this problem arose after the Lowe's hairpin and before the tunnel section. Now, while the eventual winner, Button, managed to keep his cool, Lewis Hamilton reportedly crashed during the qualifying session near the location in question. Now, the individual who was associated with the blank, I've used the X and the blank interchangeably here. The individual associated with the blank was one Jessica Pace, who was in Monaco at the time and considered the whole situation flattering, but said she would feel terrible if the drivers ended up getting hurt. Button reportedly felt that he had Jessica's face looking right at him throughout the race. So basically, tell me what was going on here. There's something that involved an Italian brand, which most. I've received answers from everyone on the phones. Team 1, your answer.
Brand is Martini, and I think there was a poster or something that distracted the drivers ahead of the.
Yeah, that's good enough. This was Jessica was the model for Martini, and she was on an advertisement boarding that was on eye level for drivers, distracting them during the race.
4, 5, 6, 8 went plus 2.
Every team that pounds gets plus 10. So teams 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 get plus 10, and team 1 gets plus 10 on the bounce. So last question of this first round of drives goes to team 2. And team 2, your question. Duo de Fleur or Flower Duet is a duet for soprano and mezzo soprano in the opera X, which is in turn based on a story by Theodore Pavil called La Babouche du Brahman. And it's a story that's set in early colonial India. Now, the opera itself is named after the main character X from Pavi's story, who incidentally also sings Flower Duet. But the name X itself is the French rendition of the Sanskrit name of a Hindu goddess, and is also the name of an Indian brand, with the name possibly being chosen to make the brand itself seem French, to capitalize on the good reputation French products enjoy in this industry. I have Flower Duet on the next slide, which isn't particularly helpful, but yeah, what is X? I'll keep pounds open for 10 more seconds.
Can you show the question again? And then
Sure.
just
Team 6
Sure.
bounced.
All right.
Me
Yeah.
also.
So this. All right. Bounces from teams 3, 6, and 8. 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'll close bounce in 5 more seconds.
What exactly do you want as the answer? The name of
I
the.
want the name of the opera.
Team 1 is also bouncing.
team 1 bounced.
All right. Yep. I will take bounce from team 1, and bounce is now closed. Team 2, your answer, please.
Lakme.
Yep. This is Lakme from the French version of Lakshmi, and that's also how the brand Lakme gets its name. Everyone except team 4 gets plus 10 on this. I think playing the video has a little bit caused my laptop to crash. Should give me like a minute. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll do scores, no problem. Yeah, sure. Team 1's at 80, Team 2's at 30, Team 3's at 45, Team 4's at 55, Team 5's at 75, Team 6 is at 65, Team 7 is at 60, and Team 8 is at 57.5. Please tell us if there's any disagreements. But I think that's it.
Could you repeat Team 6 score again?
Sure, yeah. Team 6 is at 65.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think yeah, my laptop accidentally removed all videos embedded in the thing, so that took like another couple of minutes. Is my screen visible again? Yeah. So we're done with the first round of tries. Now the second set of written rounds uh, basically need you to identify the residents of all of these rooms. So now these are all rooms that are designed by this person called Amrit Pal Singh, a 3D illustrator and game designer from New Delhi. Over the course of the lockdown, he basically designed isometric models. No, the images should be much. So I would want Genie and not Aladdin for this, but like I'll still consider it. If like I mean if nobody's given me like the exact resident, I'll consider it. But other than that, I want so Aladdin. All right, actually, you know what? I'll give you points for Aladdin as well if you tell me where you've seen these rooms as well. But for the bonus, I'm going to need 8 residents. All right, design of a room, and I need you to tell me who lives in that room, or who basically who's the resident, or who are the residents of the rooms in the next 8 slides. Now, if you tell me, so for example, here the resident answer I'll be looking for is Genie. But if you give me Aladdin, I'll still give you the +5 because you've seen this in the movie Aladdin. But there is a +10 bonus for getting all the 8 correct. So there is a so
Is there
if you
pounds
want,
for this? Or?
no, there's no pounds. It's a written down. You need to give me all 8 answers at once. So if you can, yeah. So basically, to be eligible for like the +10 bonus, I need 8 names. So if you tell me Aladdin for this, even though you'll get the +5, you won't be eligible for the +10 bonus for getting everything right. Cool. Everyone clear with the rules? I'll move on to the first question. Yeah, basically this is an isometric representation of um, at the inside of the cube. Cool. Question number 1: who lives here? Send all the answers on text. At the end. At the end. I'll basically do a quick run through of this. I mean, like go through the questions quickly and then do another quick run. This is the first isometric room. Who lives here? Second, tell me who lives here. I'll move on to the third question. Who's the resident here? On to the fourth question. Who lives here? Moving on to the fifth question. Who lives here? I'll spend 5 more seconds on this and then move on. In picture. Yeah, sure. Yeah, type out a question you have in chat. Yeah. Is the question pertaining to this picture or can I move on? Sixth room. This is the seventh one.
Afterwards, could you also show the first picture again, please?
Picture.
Yeah, this is the third one.
Also to 7 after this, please.
I'll close answers in the next 5 seconds. Please send in your answers within 5. There's no negative marking. It's +5 and 0. Closing answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've yet to receive answers from. All right, I've gotten them from everyone. Yeah. So does anyone want to take guesses on the answers? So yeah, the first one. All right, I'll just go back. Yeah, the first one is Edson. That's Jerry from Tom and Jerry, Van Gogh, Simpsons, Bilbo Baggins, Morph from Interstellar, Harry Potter. So we'll do scores now.
1 second. Team 1's at 5, 10.
One gets +50, gets all of them right, and the bonus. Uh,
35.
Team 2 is at 35. They missed out on.
Number 5.
Missed out on Bilbo Baggins.
Okay. Team 3's at 5, 25.
Team 3 is at 25. Team 4.
5, 10, 8.
Team 5 is at 50. Sorry, Team 4 gets all 50.
Send it in a very good way.
50. Team 5 also gets all 50.
Gets 25.
Team 6 gets 25.
Yeah. Team 7 gets 30.
Team 7 gets 30.
Team 8 gets 30.
Finally, Team 8 also gets 30.
Ask if anybody is just.
Any discrepancies or is everybody? The first answer was the Jetsons. Cool. Moving on to the second infinite bounce round. So we'll do 8 questions counterclockwise. And then one last written round before we end the quiz. First question to Team 8, we're going anti-clockwise. Again, +10 -5 on pounds. +10 0 on bounce. And again, same thing, bounce will continue until I get the full answer.
Let me get the scores, just one.
It gets,
Like the total scores.
yeah.
Thank you.
We'll do the total scores like at the end of the question when someone is being total.
Yeah, that's fine.
a content creator whose content has over 126 billion total views on YouTube. And this content is geared towards a specific audience. Now, in order to explain why X's content is so appealing to this audience, a YouTuber called Savantix did some research into a bunch of things. Basically, they looked into camera movement, percentage of shots over 5 seconds long, percentage of shots less than 2 seconds long, as well as the brightness and saturation, and compared it to other animated features such as Encanto, Arcane, and Bluey, and found that X's content had the most camera movement, shortest average shot duration, as well as the brightest and most saturated color palette, which explains its popularity among its target audience. So give me X. On pound, obsessed with this garbage. Yeah. All right. Next question to team 7. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Points. Points to 1, 4, 5, and 8. Next question to team 7. One of the first. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sanjana, can we get the total scores before we move on to the next question?
Yeah, sure. This is not including
Yeah, yeah.
the okay. So this is after the written round. Team 1 is at 130 points. Team 2 has 65. Team 3 has 70. Team 4 has 105. Team 5 has 125. Team 6 has 90. Team 7 also has 90. And Team 8 has 87.5.
No discrepancies, right? Cool. Moving on, team 7, you're direct. Now, one of the first instances of independent Indian sporting spirit shine was at the 1930 Dash Dash Games, where Indian athletes flew the flag of the independence movement rather than that of British India. Now, the organization of games like these was a precursor to the first instance of for a non-Western location. Now, the movement behind X was driven by the local government's efforts towards international diplomacy, following the international ostracization of the country and expulsion from global organizations at the time. Was the answer revealed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Sorry, I was trying to move the thing and it got clicked twice. Sorry, this question is scrapped, but this is basically the 1940 Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, I was moving this. Cool. Team 7, you're direct again. Ted Lasso is a show that deals with the exploits of the titular character, who's an American coach in the Premier League. Several characters in the show are based on real life personalities and players. Now, while most characters share broad similarities with these real life persons, one character is modeled almost entirely after one real life personality, with both of them sharing the same first name, as well as having last names that begin with the same letter. Now, interestingly enough, a player in the Indian Soccer League or Indian Super League also participates in this naming convention, having the same first name and a last name that also starts with the same letter, referencing an Indian god. So name these 3 footballers. I need all 3 parts on the pounds. So basically, think of like
It's a direct for team 7, right?
yeah, it's team 7's direct.
Team 1 is bouncing.
All right. I'll wait 5 more seconds and then close bounce. Closing pounds in.
Bouncing.
Which team is this?
Team 8.
All right. So after team closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After team 8 types out their answer, we've received bounces from teams 1 and 8. After team 8 types out their answer, team 7 can give me their answer. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 have bounced. I'll close bounce in 3, 2, 1. After everyone's typed out and given me their.
Team 7 also.
All right. Yeah. Cool. No more bounces. Once everyone's typed in their answer, team 6 can answer on the mic. Yeah, I've received answers from everyone else. Team 6, you can give me your answer now. Team 6.
Is X basically Google and
Team that. Yeah, any. Do we have an audience at all? If there is an audience, any audience member wants to guess?
Everybody's inside. Everybody's fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone else has bounced, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 have all bounced. Cool. Yeah, any audience member, do we have it? Or not? Yeah, any team that answered just wants to guess. Like, give out the answer. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, so this is EA Sports and FIFA. They had initially planned to change their FIFA line to EA Sports Football Club, but following backlash, licensing to FIFA for points plus 10 to 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Direct still with team 6. Yeah, next question direct to team 6. Brian May, the guitarist from Queen, lives in
Hi,
Kensington.
sorry. I think
Yeah.
we also got it right on the pounds last time.
Yeah, 7. I said 7 as well. 1, 4, 5, 7, 8.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Direct to team 6. Now, Brian May, the guitarist of Queen, lives in Kensington, an opulent neighborhood in London. That's home to several rich and famous people. Now, some of these people are richer than the others, however, and have spent these riches basically building mega basements. Now, because of the law in the UK, you can build as deep as you want under your thing, but there are restrictions on expanding sideways and upwards. So these super rich people have built underground gyms, home theaters, and even swimming pools, as construction above ground is a much tougher task. Now, these underground constructions have caused problems for their neighbors, such as me, whose house was flooded due to the underground swimming pool of his neighbor. Now, describing this problem, one commentator basically used a phrase that's often used to describe disparities in wealth between the rich and the poor. However, in this context, he modified the phrase or punned on it to reflect on the disparities not between the rich and the poor, but rather between the rich and the ultra rich. So, what fun? I'll close pounds in 5 seconds. I've received pounds from team 3. I'll wait 5 more seconds. Pounds from team 2, closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2,
7 pounds.
1. Yeah.
2, 3, 7.
Received bounces from 2, 3, and 7. Pounds is closed. Team 6, your answer.
So, like, is the main phrase the
6 is, yeah. So, team 3 gets it right on pounds with an excellent crack. 2 and 7 get negs. 2 came close, but the answer is between the haves and have yachts. The original phrase being the haves and the have nots. But here, to describe the disparity between the rich and the ultra rich, it's between the haves and the have yachts. Team 2 pounds with haves and have mores. I would have not given you next had you gone with haves and have lots as well. But yeah, next to teams 2 and 7 plus 10 to team 3 and 6. No,
6 is direct.
yeah, teams just to team 3. Plus 10 to team 3 and next to teams 2 and 7. That's it. Team 6 is direct again. Cool. So on February 6th, 2022, the New York Times decided to reference a long-standing feud in its Sunday crossword and adopted a reconciliatory approach when doing so. From the picture of the crossword on the next slide, tell me what was so special about this crossword. So 70 across. Yeah. Just basically read everything. That's I'll wait for like
Team 2 is bouncing.
I'll wait for 5 more seconds. Bounces from teams 3 and 2, 2, 3 and 5. Closing bounce in 5.
Can you go back to the text?
Cool. All right, closing bounce and
We are bouncing. We are bouncing. Team 8 is
Team 1 is
all right.
bouncing.
Yeah.
7 bounced.
Cool.
Team 1.
Bounce is closed now. I've received from 1. I'm receiving from 1, 2, 3, 5.
We also sent. Team 8 has also sent.
Sorry?
Team 8 has also sent.
Yeah. I've recorded that. Once all of the answers come in, team 6 can give me their answer.
Is bounce still open?
No, bounce is closed.
Can you go back to the image, please?
Sure.
Can we give an answer?
1 second. We're still waiting on answers from.
Is bounce closed?
Yeah, bounce is closed. We're waiting for answers from team 1. Once team 1 types out their answer, we'll team 6. Team 1, are you giving me an answer? Are you typing something out?
Yeah, we're giving up bouncer, sorry.
I'm gonna need you to improve on your answer. You still haven't given me like what's unique about the crossword. I mean, all right,
Wait,
I'll
1 second. Yeah, we're just typing it in, sorry.
Yeah.
Whose direct is this?
Team 6 is direct. Team 8 also. Team 8
Do you require teammate to?
Yeah, team 8, could you also
Okay.
please improve your answer? Yeah. Cool. Team 6, your answer.
Yeah, so like the answer is Star Wars versus Star Trek. And the thing is like both Wars and Trek will get other right answers for the cross.
Yeah. Star Wars or Star Trek were both acceptable answers. So which is the better of the two sci-fi franchises? So plus 10 to everyone except team 4. Direct to team 5. Yeah, the second last question of the drive. Direct to team 5. X is a stand-up comedian who also appears on several British reality comedy shows, who's known for his deadpan delivery of controversial one-liners, which has often gotten him into content is known for being offensive, dealing with themes that are considered to be taboo or unacceptable to discuss. Now, given the theme of his content, the comedian named his 2021 comedy special Dash Dash Dash, which is a reference to a mid-90s book series, which has subsequently been made into a television series as well. Tell me who X is. What was the name of his 2021 stand-up special, and who was the author of the work that it referenced. Team 5's direct. I will get you plus 10. His Jimmy Carr, his Dark Material, and basically based on his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. Points to Team 1 and Team 7. Direct to Team 8 for the last question of tries. Now, a piece of popular trivia about this mid-90s film is that one of the two protagonists was paid a significantly smaller amount than the other. While one of them was being paid around 7 million USD, the other was given only around 50,000. Now, when asked a particular question related to the film and its title, the actor who was paid less famously responded, "Well, X was paid 7 million and I wasn't. So you tell me who is Dash." Which mid-90s film? When asked who was dumb and who was dumber, he responded, "One of us got paid 7 million for it. Clearly, the other is dumber." Um, Points to teams 2 and 4, plus 10. Plus 10 to teams 2 and 4. We'll take a look at the scores before we do our final written round. Sanjana, can we have the scores before the final written round?
Yeah, sure. Team 1 is at 180 points. Team 2 is at 90 points. Team 3 is also at 90 points. Team 4 is at 135 points. Team 5 is at 155 points. Team 6 is at 100 points. Team 7 is at 125 points. And Team 8 is at 117.5 points.
Alright, so we'll move on to the last round of today's quiz. It's a written round and the theme is MELAS. And we'll have one question on each of music, entertainment, literature, art, and sports. Plus 10 and 0. No bonuses for getting all of them right. Type in your answers and send them all in on the chat all together. First question. The initial plan for X was for it to be showcased as it always had been in India up until that point. When the idea was floated generally, there was no other interest. At that time, within the Asia Pacific Dash Union, which was contracted for X level events, only India and Vietnam followed this generally undesirable way of showcasing X and itself, with even Vietnam starting to move away by the time A came around. Now, it was argued that India's poor neighbors like Bangladesh had also moved away from this old method of showcasing events and sticking to the old method for X. Would tarnish its image as a third world leader. What is X and what historic change was forced upon India in the build up to X by other countries? Also, the A there is supposed to be X. I'll move on to the next question. All right. Moving on. While the original X is on display at the Museo Reina Sofia in Madrid, a copy of X was hung at the UN for 35 plus years. However, in 2003, when Colin Powell was making his presentation that called for the war on Iraq, the US had the painting covered due to what it symbolized. Now, this act, which showcased how the US was terrified of a 60-year-old painting, served as a reminder of how powerful art really can be. This picture on the next slide of basically the painting being covered when Powell made this petition calling for the war on Iraq. Basically, tell me which painting. The original of which is on display at the Museo Reina Sofia in Madrid. Third question. Jessica Chastain, during a house tour with a video group, was remarking on the many scripts. Now, the script for one movie stood out amongst all these. The script for Interstellar remarked on its uniqueness amongst the many others, stating that Christopher Nolan only sends scripts using red paper to avoid the scripts leaking. She further tweeted that she could verify the effectiveness of this method, having tried to bypass it and failing herself. This is a method that has been made use of by other directors like J.J. Abrams for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Lost as well. But this is not a completely perfect or foolproof method to avoid leaks, and only stops the spread of the script through one particular variant. So basically tell me why are red scripts used and how they prevent the leakage, prevent the script from leaking. And move on to the next question. The following video from 1975 features the first time color TV was broadcast. This served as a precursor to something very similar, which was seen in a recent pop culture context. And the inspiration from this scene is unmistakable. Gradual appearance of color and the color palette that are featured are something that is common to both. Now, basically, look at the video and tell me what. I just skipped to like the relevant portions.
Just the flange desire.
See what I mean, Arthur?
Look, it's filling the room! How are we gonna breathe? Quick, Arthur, the Wollongong here! I'll try and hold it down.
There it is.
Hey, look at me, I'm in colour! Come on in, it's lovely! I can't hold it on very long. Here it goes, Arthur!
Oh, what a beautiful room. It's really quite nice being in colour, isn't it? I don't feel any different.
Oh yeah, that's because you aren't any different, Tubby!
Yeah, this is a video from 1975 that featured the introduction of color TV to Australia. This served as the inspiration for something very similar in a much more recent pop culture. And the last question for the quiz is the song Black or White, which is a 1991 song by Michael Jackson that has been described as a rock and roll dance song about racial harmony. Now, while the song itself is incredibly popular, a number of cameos are in the song which largely go under the radar. Now, two of the most prominent cameos are by X and Y. And the video itself for Black or White begins with X, a young boy, dancing to rock music in his bedroom. Then comes and yells at him to stop. Boy retaliates by playing an electric guitar loudly enough to fire his father into space. Now, X's most iconic role in all time since 1991, again as a young and mischievous boy, came just a month prior to the release of this film. So tell me who cameoed as a young boy in Michael Jackson's Black or White video. And towards the end of the video, there are a number of actors, models, basically people whose faces morph into one another. Now, among these faces is Y, who is best known for a reality show that seeks to identify fresh faces to bring into the same industry that Y works in. Give me X and Y. I'll do a quick run through. The first one, tell me what is this thing X that India and Vietnam showcased in a certain way, but was forced to change in the build up to X by other countries. What is the original painting X that's on display at this museum in Spain?
Could we stay on one for a second?
On. Second, I want the original painting that's been covered up here. For the third, I want how red scripts basically prevent the spread of how red paper prevents this. For the fourth one, I want what pop culture context this video inspired. And for the last question, tell me who are these cameos?
Can you just show us the first question one more time?
I will. Yeah, closing in 10 more seconds. Send your answers in 10. Start typing your answers. I need the answers in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have we received from all teams? Okay. So basically start. Macaulay Culkin fighting to rob. And towards the end, among like bunch of people, Interrobang. Cool. We will do scores now and results.
Team 3 10.
Team 3 gets 10.
Team 1 35.
Team 1 gets 35.
Team 2 35.
Team 2 gets 35.
Team 6 25.
Team 4 gets 40.
8 30.
Team 8 gets 30.
Team 7 40.
Team 7 gets 40.
Team 5 gets 30.
And Team 5 gets 30. So what that does score wise, if Megan can announce final scores.
Sure. Can I be heard?
Yeah, you're audible.
Team 1 gets 215 points. Team 2 gets 125 points. Team 3 gets 100. Team 4 gets 175. Team 5 gets 185. Team 6 gets 135. Team 7 gets 165. And Team 8 gets 147.5.
So we'll do the Team 1 comes first with 215. Team 5 is second with 185. Team 4 comes third with 175. And Team 7 comes close with very close with 165. So the margins are very, very small. Team 8. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for showing up. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed the quiz, and